you think eggs are healthy? What if I told you there is another side to them that most people never talk about? So stay tuned, and this might change the way you look at your breakfast. So eggs are often seen as a healthy food, but there are several reasons why they might not be the best choice for your diet. So let's take a closer look, first of all, at the potential health risks. I'm sure you have heard this one already, but it is worth mentioning here that eggs are indeed one of the most high cholesterol foods there are, with a single egg containing about 186 milligrams of cholesterol. High cholesterol in your blood can increase the risk of heart disease for so many people, especially those with existing conditions like diabetes or high cholesterol. So while some studies suggest that cholesterol from foods doesn't affect everybody equally, many health experts they recommend limiting cholesterol intake to reduce the risks. It's probably no secret for anybody that eggs contain saturated fat, which can raise bad LDL cholesterol levels in the body. Diets high in saturated fat are linked to an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. Did you know that eggs are a common source of salmonella? It's a harmful bacteria that can cause serious food poisoning, and consuming especially undercooked and raw eggs can increase this risk. And did you know that even eggs that look clean and fresh, they can carry this bacteria, as it often contaminates the egg before the shell forms? In conventional egg farming, chickens are often given antibiotics to prevent disease in overcrowded conditions, and eating eggs from these hens can contribute to antibiotic resistance, which is a really growing health crisis. Also, hormones used in some farming practices may also disrupt the body's natural balance and potentially harm human health. Eggs are a common allergen, especially for children, and egg allergies, they can cause symptoms like skin rashes, stomach aches, and even severe difficulty breathing. And some people experience digestive issues or intolerance when eating eggs, which can be really uncomfortable. Studies have shown that eating eggs regularly may increase the risk of heart disease in people with diabetes. This makes eggs a potentially risky food for those managing blood sugar levels or with the pre-existing conditions. Number 7. Better alternatives do exist. You don't need eggs to meet your protein or your nutrient needs. There are plenty of foods that you can enjoy and you can have all the good nutrition without all these scary risks. So foods like beans, lentils, tofu, nuts, seeds, and even if you eat fortified plant-based products, they all offer all essential nutrients without all these risks associated with eggs. Now, I really want to talk about the ethical issues of eating eggs. A lot of people think that eating eggs is really harmless, and it may seem harmless, yes, but there are hidden problems with how they are made, especially on those big factory farms. So the way eggs are made produces often a lot of pain and suffering for all those chickens, and here is why. In factory farms, most egg-laying hens, they are confined to these battery cages. They are in like these small wire enclosures, so cramped that the hens cannot spread their wings or run around or engage in any natural behaviors. And what happens to all those chickens? It basically leads to this severe physical and psychological distress. It's just unimaginable how these poor little birds are tortured. So, and what happens when all these chickens become really stressed and living in these conditions? They're gonna start pecking each other. So to prevent stressed hens from pecking each other in crowded conditions, farmers often cut off the tips of their beaks without any pain relief. So this is a really painful and traumatic procedure that leaves hens with chronic pain. Just imagine, this is the kind of pain they go through, like cutting teeth. This is just unimaginable. And unfortunately, this is a normal procedure for all those tiny little chicks. Just absolute torture. Did you know that hens in the egg industry, they are forced to lay eggs at an unnatural rate far beyond what they would produce naturally, which leads to all sorts of health problems? And here is something that a lot of people apparently don't know. Chicken eggs are basically a chicken's period. And just like women shed an egg during their menstrual cycle, hens, they lay eggs as part of their natural cycle. And the difference is, unlike humans, hens don't have the choice to stop. They are forced to lay eggs far beyond their natural rhythm, which contributes to all the suffering we see in the industry. So naturally, chickens would only lay about 10 to 15 eggs per year. That's right, per year. But in factory farms, they are pushed to lay around 25 to 30 eggs per month, which is way beyond what is natural or healthy for them. So what happens when they lay so many eggs? What happens to their bodies? So this intense egg production, it puts a lot of stress, obviously, on their little tiny bodies. And basically, it creates all sorts of problems, like brittle bones, for example, because of calcium depletion, and organ failure. And most of the time, they have very, very short lives. So in the wild, chickens can live up to between like 5 and 10 years on average, depending on the environment and the threats they face, such as predators and some other diseases. So without human interference, they live much longer and healthier lives compared to chickens raised for eggs or meat on farms, where their lifespan is usually cut short to just 1 to 2 years due to all these intensive farming practices. So once their egg production declines, these spent hens, they are considered unprofitable and are killed often by gassing or slaughter. So what a life, huh? Did you know that male chicks, they are seen as waste product in the egg industry because they can't lay eggs and they are not the right breed for all this meat production. So as a result, billions of male chicks are killed each year shortly after birth, and usually they just grinding them alive in all these machines or just suffocating them in plastic bags. Come on, do we really need to do this? This is just insanity. I can't believe this is happening on a daily basis. Now let's talk about organic and free-range myths. So unfortunately, even cage-free or free-range labels can be really misleading because hens in these systems are often still kept in overcrowded barns with limited outdoor access, and they face many of the same issues such as debeaking and premature slaughter. And the term free-range is more about marketing than actual animal welfare. So the egg industry treats chickens like machines, only caring about how many eggs they can lay. But chickens are living animals and they can feel pain and fear and they can even feel love just like us. Yes, chickens have emotions. Studies have shown that chickens are intelligent and social animals and they are capable of feeling a wide range of emotions such as happiness, fear, and even empathy. They bond with their flock. They can recognize individual chickens and humans, and they can show affection and curiosity. For example, a chicken might cluck softly and relax while feeling safe and happy, or it might squawk and act nervously when scared. Chickens are also known to worry about their little chicks, and they can even feel sad when they are separating from them. This emotional capacity, it shows that chickens, they are much more complex than many people realize. So by choosing not to eat eggs, you take a stand against these cruel practices and support more compassionate way of living. And choosing plant-based alternatives not only aligns with ethical principles, but it also sends a message that animal exploitation is unnecessary in our food system. Okay, let's talk about environmental impact of eating eggs. Eating eggs has a bigger impact on the environment than most people realize, and here is how. Egg production wastes resources. Raising chickens for eggs using tons of food and water. Farmers grow huge amounts of crops like corn and soy just to feed chickens. This takes up land, water, and energy that could be used more efficiently. It also takes a lot of water to keep the chickens alive and clean on the farms. So this wastes water that could be used for drinking or growing food for people. Chicken poop from big farms often pollutes nearby rivers and lakes and groundwater. And all this pollution, it makes water so unsafe for people or animals. So all this waste also creates harmful gases like ammonia, which can pollute the air and hurt the health of nearby communities. So egg farms add to climate change. Producing eggs releases greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane, which trap heat in the atmosphere. And then climate change, it leads to problems like stronger storms or rising sea levels or loss of wildlife habitat. To grow food for chickens, farmers often destroy forests. Cutting down trees takes away homes for all these wild animals, and it makes harder for them to survive. And as we all know, trees also help absorb carbon dioxide, so when forests are cut down, it worsens climate change even more. By choosing plant-based foods instead of eggs, we can save water, we can reduce pollution, and with so many plant-based alternatives like tofu scrambles, chickpea omelets, and flaxseed and chia seed eggs replacement in baking, it's easier than ever to skip eggs without missing out on nutrition or flavor. Choosing not to eat eggs can benefit your health, the animals, and this beautiful planet we all share. So I thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And be sure to check out this next video on the screen that I think you will enjoy, and I'll see you there.